We have two clinics.
Two clinics.
Two clinics in the last 8 months.
In 8 months?
Yes.
That's fast growth. I mean, that's outrageously fast growth. Mm-hmm. How many team members?
Just shy of 100, so about 98 employees.
Friends, thank you so much for driving all the way down here. Goodness gracious, that's so far, and I'm grateful. We're all grateful that you took the time to come down here. I always like to start these with like really hard-hitting, tough to answer questions, and so if it's okay with you, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds great.
Great. In your opinion, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
I'm going with no on that one.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Bread and meat.
I think the distinguishing factor is the fact that it's not a separated bun.
Well, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah. It's connected, right?
Yeah.
But
although they do
sub,
have subs like
yeah,
that.
Now
Yeah.
I'm thinking
but
that,
I don't know that that's a true sub either.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. What is the first app on your phone that you look at in the morning?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm learning Korean, so it's my Essential Korean app.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. We have to talk more about that. Sir?
Yeah, that's more recently.
I look at my New York Times, my daily puzzles.
Oh, okay. Okay. Skilled?
Trying to always beat my best streak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a personal challenge.
Got you. I like stuff like that. The daily challenge I'm not as great at. I'll play chess. Mm-hmm. I grew up playing chess with friends and stuff like that. Actually, I got this cousin that just keeps beating my head in on the chess game like every week. So I'm trying to get better at that. You know, I played it for a long time. I got kind of good as a kid, got away from it, and now I'm like playing it again. Mm-hmm. So, but that's interesting. So learning Korean.
Yeah.
Why?
When we opened up our hospital in St. Pete and we were prepping for it, I worked from home for almost 6 years.
Okay.
So I hadn't really had a long commute anymore. So I live in South Tampa, so I had this 35-minute commute. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in the car every day for an hour and a half. What do I do with my time?
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's learn Korean.
That's interesting. How long you been doing it now?
Since November of last year, late November, early December.
So almost a year.
Yeah.
Getting pretty good?
I'm getting there.
Wow.
That's
very cool. Do you speak any other languages?
Spanish.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, awesome. Awesome. So talk to me about what you found in Tampa, St. Pete.
Both, yeah.
Both. That made you feel that it was time for Epic?
It's been time for Epic since 2017, actually 15.
Okay.
We both actually relocated from New York. I relocated from New York City. That's how we know each other. Okay. Seeing the growth that this whole, even St. Pete, Sarasota, right? So I kind of look at this whole market as one, and the evolution of this market since 2012 and how we've been progressing. Yeah. It's. I would say that I started to think about it back then. Yeah, and just the growth and how things have evolved in Tampa.
It's drastically different than it was. So what year did you get here?
I moved at the end of 2011.
You?
2023.
Oh, you're real fresh. That's right. I remember talking to you about this. Yeah. Yeah, I got here in 2004, and it was a real sleeper. It was a real sleeper of a town. Everything very much similar if you ever go down to Naples. Naples, like everything kind of shuts down at like 9:30. There's nothing else to do. That's what it was like here, at least in Bradenton and part of Sarasota, I guess. And now it's just bustling. Yeah. So many people here. So you started having the idea back then.
Yeah.
And you had worked on the corporate side, or both of you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What is it that was missing from that corporate side that you've incorporated into Epic?
For me, it's very simple. It's the personal touch and the connectivity that we have to our community.
Okay. Talk to me more about that.
Well, we're in the animal services industry, right? And they're part of family. And if you have a pet, if you know somebody that has a pet, there's a sense of it's a privilege as a veterinarian to be able to take care of them. And to be able to do that on a personal level and have time and actually be able to do that, I think when we're looking at it from the business perspective, it follows the medicine. It follows the practice of medicine.
Okay.
And so being able to deliver that on a personal touch and a personal level, there shouldn't be a disconnect. It shouldn't have anything that makes it unrelatable.
Agreed.
So being able to be a founder, a practitioner, or a partner, and then offer my services is truly part of who I am is profound. And so that's really why, to me, that departure was so important, is so we can actually provide that personal touch and connectivity.
From the business side, and this is what makes our partnership so special, is that we have doctor founders and I'm on the business side. So from a business side, it's really that autonomy that happens within the four walls of the hospital.
Okay.
And over the last close to 8 to 9 years, we've lost a lot of that autonomy at the hospital level, whether it's business and the practice of medicine. So, and we just really felt really strong that we could do better and kind of go back to our roots, which involved heavily those relationships with the parent owners, or the pet parent owners, and the referring veterinarians, the general practitioners in the market, combined with on the business side, having that autonomy, sharing the success, the resources that happen at the hospital with the people that are working there.
Yeah. So talk to me about the people working there, because is it 3 clinics in 8 months?
We have 2 clinics.
2 clinics.
2 clinics in the last 8 months.
In 8 months?
Yes.
That's fast growth. I mean, that's outrageously fast growth. Mm-hmm. How many team members?
Just shy of 100, so about 98 employees.
Okay, so talk to me about bringing on that many team members, right? That fast. What have been some of the struggles with making sure that everybody is following this culture and the things that we're missing from the corporate world that you really are ingraining in Epic? How has that been, making sure everybody is falling in line and carrying that message the same way?
Yeah, so for us, we've been very fortunate because over the last close to 10 years, like I said, if you've been in the industry, you've kind of gone through this cycle where the industry was mostly privately owned, and then we went through major consolidation. Right. So a lot of the people that work with us, our team members, kind of went through that journey and saw basically a lot of the losses. Yeah. So to come with us, and we have the owners there. We also offered them the opportunity to buy in and have some shareholdership in the hospital. So it's really exciting. So, I'm not saying that it's been pain-free.
Sure.
But we've created a template that's exciting to them. They have us. It doesn't have to go through 14 different channels to make a decision and to be heard. So that alone has been materially impactful for them.
It's monumental. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I would gather with your 2 experiences, while there were things missing from the corporate side, some of the things you learned from those corporate ties and corporate experiences have helped you to create the processes and systems to allow you to scale at that size. Is that right?
To some degree, it's been a little painful and it's been a lot of work, but yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. What was something, you planning this for so long, or at least it was in your mind, right? But when you take the leap, what was something that you've encountered in the business that you didn't know or expect that you would encounter?
So this is the 3rd time I tried it. Okay. And third, what's the saying?
It's a charm.
It's a charm. I think that timing. So this was the right time to do it. Mm-hmm. So in having the right people, having the right team, and getting the right people together, Josh and our 3 other partners, was significantly a big factor. It's kind of, we were all ready. I think we had gone through that journey and it just made sense. I think timing was a big part, and then also getting fortunate that he decided to move to Tampa. Mm-hmm. Right. And my other partners are also were very motivated and driven.
Got you. Josh, would you agree? What would you add?
I do. I agree. And I think one of the things that has been eye-opening is when you start something, it's grassroots. It's the ground up.
Yeah.
And we do it. We're doing the hustle, we're doing the grind, we're making sure, and we're engaging our team to do it as well. And it's I always envisioned that it would be a steep curve, and it is a steep curve, but like being on it is better than not being on it at all.
Yeah.
And we have such a, like going back to even the people part, like I think we've been very clear and very transparent when you come in. We are a startup, we're a new business. We're even, when a lot of the people, ourselves included, come from more of a structured environment, you have to actually take on some of that initiative, that entrepreneurial mindset yourself to be able to get things done. But you have the opportunity to create it. So if you have a complaint, what are you going to do about that?
Right.
How would you want to drive this? And putting them in the driver's seat along with us. We're all part of this together. Not any one individual can do it by themselves. I think is really important. And we take care of everyone in return, and that's important too. We're like a family.
I like that. So you get a complaint. How would you want to handle that? And then that prepares everybody for the next time, if at all that ever happens. Everybody's prepared to either avoid it or to deal with it accordingly. I like that. It reminds me of the Ritz-Carlton has this, the Ritz-Carlton's like the standard, right, for customer service. And I only learned that because I don't stay at the Ritz-Carlton often, but I honeymoon there. And so I'm a business owner, and so I'm seeing, as a business owner, all the things going on. And they have this policy where every team member, the guy that's cleaning the restroom, the lady that's cleaning the room, the general manager, everybody has the ability and the freedom to make a guest's day, to make it right if there's something wrong. And I'm sure that they're going back and recording, here's what happened and here's how we corrected it. And that's like, it gives them like this ownership. How empowering is that for a team member that they are helping to build the systems? That's brilliant, man.
It's funny that you mentioned the Ritz, because the team has heard me multiple times saying, if you're a pet owner and you come to our practice, we want them to feel like they just walked into the Four Seasons.
The Four Seasons, yes.
So I've used the Four Seasons as an example.
Yes,
because to Josh's point, we are a premium service. We're multi-specialty and we're emergency medicine. And when pet owners come to our hospitals and trust us with their loved ones, we want them to have that same feeling. I'm coming in that confidence that comes with, that strong brand.
Yeah. I love that.
Well, and bear in mind, we're specialty and emergency, so we're not general practice. It's tough, when people come in. Fortunately, our clients include the referral community of veterinarians, and so they'll do a great job of preparing them, but sometimes there's not that opportunity. If there's an after-hours emergency and they can't talk to their primary care vet with whom they have a relationship, they're coming in, so they're not sure what to expect. They're frightened because their family member, their pet is sick. And there's unforeseen tests, diagnostics, cost, outcome. So we want to make sure that we take care of the client in that environment, because being pet owners ourselves, how else to better relate to the client than to make them feel at ease?
Yeah, I mean, they're coming to you in some cases on one of the worst days, right? Like, because their family member is sick or hurt or whatever they're dealing with. How do you go about making sure that you're taking care of the human? Because I know you're going to take care of the pet, right? But what are some of the steps you take to take care of the human?
It starts with our lobby when they walk in. Number one, a smiling and warm, welcoming face and individual that's going to respond to their needs, whether it's, they're coming in for an appointment that's been planned, or if it's a stat that comes in to make sure that the team that they meet with, they're going to be received with respect and kindness. Yeah. The other thing is our lobby, we have blankets, we have snacks, couches. We didn't get any hard chairs. All of our seatings is couches with blankets. We have, the team's very proud of our bevy machine in St. Pete. Coffee, all of the types of creamers that you can think of. So if you look at some of our reviews, the people really are excited and they appreciate it, because a lot of times they're going to spend 6-10 hours there, for the emergency cases. I've left the hospital an evening and walked in early thing in the morning, and we'll have sometimes people just kind of taking a nap on our couches with the blankets and head covers. So it's really
Reading a book.
reading a book. So we, that's how we ensure that they're taken care of while they're waiting for their patient.
And that's very different. I got two pets. I got two dogs, and we go to the vet, and our vet's cool, but they are hard chairs.
Yeah.
It does feel clinical. It does feel like I'm at SMH or Sarasota Memorial or whatever. Like I'm in a regular hospital emergency room. It's not comfortable, and if I have to be there for multiple hours, that would weigh. That would wear me down.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a smart move. Okay. So are you continuing this rapid growth? What's the plan?
Yes, we are. There's managing your growth is probably where the phase that we're in, right? We opened these 2 hospitals. I like to say we've got 2 little beans. We got to let them sprout.
Yes.
And I don't know, what the future holds, but absolutely, we want to continue to grow. We're recruiting more doctors, more specialists, and we're excited about that.
Sarasota's a good place. Good place. Just letting you know.
One of our founders just lives 20 minutes south of
really?
Sarasota, and he drives his St. Pete every day. Yeah.
Ugh,
And to Tampa.
brutal.
And to Tampa.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I thought my drive, I live in Parrish, and it's about 45 minutes to get here. I thought that was bad. Sarasota to
No, south, like another
20 more
15 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes south is the.
goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the culture around the office. We talked about how team members get empowered and things like that, but what kind of culture are you building in the clinic, in the hospital?
Yeah, one that needs to be positive. We want to be a cohesive team. We veterinary medicine is hard, and not in a bad way. It's just there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of stress. It's sick patients, but so we can't necessarily control those circumstances outside of our 4 walls. But in our 4 walls, we're there to support one another. We're there to support our teammates. We're there to support the pets, of course. But you can only do that. It's the old analogy. Putting your oxygen mask on first before helping others.
Yes, sir.
And so we're making sure that we're taking care of each other in that regard. And if you look like you're struggling, then we want to make sure that you have that help that you need alongside. So I think that it's really ensuring that we have the good connectivity between our people, healthy communication, getting the feedback, again, empowering our teammates to be able to help drive decisions and be included in part of the process. An open, welcoming, dialogue. We don't sit in offices behind closed doors. We want to be there with everyone. We want to be on the floor, and it doesn't matter what role you have. Everyone's going into those rooms and taking care of those clients too when you have a sick pet.
Together.
And so it's really, it's so heartwarming to see that everyone truly, genuinely cares. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're all a little bit nutty pet owners, but we want to take care of the people that we connect with in that regard. So I think for me, it's really just knowing who you're working with and having that emotional intelligence to recognize when people are going through a rough day or a positive day and leveraging those folks to help one another.
Yeah, and like you said, like genuinely care, and we care about how you're doing, and we're all doing this together. So we have a team of 10, right? So it's easy for us to have we have one-on-ones, right? So I'll have a one-on-one with team members every month, and how are things at home, and how are what are you willing to share, and that makes it a little easier to know exactly what's going on, right? But with 100 employees, ooh.
And growing.
And growing. Amen. Yeah, it's still, even with the open door policy and being on the floor, it's got to be tough, to keep up with everybody. I can only imagine.
It's fun that everyone likes to be. We're like-minded individuals, and I think we've selected like-minded individuals that work with us. And it's really fun, as you open your doors on day one, you get that trickle in of cases, and then you ramp up, and people get so excited. They're like, "We have patients to treat!" And so seeing people actually genuinely care about what they do and train to do something, they're helping animals, they're helping people in return, is really cool. So we have a really great team of people, and whether it's in the hospital or they're out, making friends within their communities and making sure they're spreading the word about who we are as a business, I think that that's really important too. And they're so engaged in that, that helping us in those efforts, because it's helping themselves and helping the pets, and it feels good at the end of the day.
It's gotta feel great.
And so I'll give you an example. So yesterday we had at our St. Pete hospital, we had a pretty complicated surgery. Won't go into the details, but I remember walking by the OR, and it's glass windows, kind of like this. And I walk by on my way to my desk, and I look in, and there's like 8, 9 people in the OR, and I'm like, oh, what's going on there? And everybody was so excited. Of course, everybody was, properly gowned and masked, and, we had all of our protected gear on, and so everything was very kosher from that regard. But everybody was excited about this surgery. So we even had a couple of nurses from a competing practice that's actually in this area that had driven to St. Pete to observe the surgery. And then we had our customer service supervisor, who's kind of also been an assistant in the past. And our 2 surgeons were in the OR. So it's really like that's what makes us different, is that camaraderie. And I've never seen that before in my life, as far as like even in the surgery, like everybody's very regimented, and I this is my department, and I work in this department.
Imagine typically you have to be, but
but people just like we just gravitate towards each other, and we've been very fortunate that the team is they're happy.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so you're telling me you had two people from a competing practice.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me about competition in business. Like, how do you view competition in business? Because it sounds like you're bringing in competitors to help them grow and learn, and because at the end of the day, you just want to take care of pets, I'm sure.
There's enough sand in the sandbox.
Amen.
So for us, it's with all of the growth at Tampa and St. Pete and Sarasota, there's enough sand in the sandbox for us all to just really treat patients, serve the communities that we serve, that we work with and serve, and it's all good. We don't have a problem if we can't do a service, whether we don't have the equipment yet, or we get the phone calls. We're very transparent. Here's where you can go. It's fine. You can use. We at the end of the day, it's about taking care of the patient. So whether we can do it or not, we're going to be transparent and be friendly.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I've been fortunate in this area to make friends and colleagues out of some competitors, right? And they serve, maybe they do the same things, but they maybe serve a different audience, because we work with specific verticals on purpose, right? We kind of stay in our lane. We're really good at this, and we want to continue to just be good at what we do, right? And so fortunately, I've made some good contacts where somebody outside of that scope will call, and I'll say, it's not what we do, but here's where, because I want them to be successful as well, right? So I've been fortunate enough to do that, and I agree. I've never heard it said that way. There's enough sand in the sandbox. I love that. I like the way that sounds. As you're growing, I lost my train of thought. Whose favorite quote was "No jerks allowed"?
Not mine.
Was yours?
That was mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So as we're growing, talk to me about how your favorite quote, "No jerks allowed."
So I shamelessly adopted that from my last boss. He that was one of his favorites, and we used to use that a lot in my last company. And I just love it, because at the end of the day, we're a service business, right? And we're in the business of treating our patients and dealing with people and helping people. Yeah. So we can practice the best medicine in the world, but if you can't relate to people, you're not going to be successful. So that's where that comes from. Like we have to be kind. And of course, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have bad days, right? Where we might not be 100%, but come back the next day, clean slate, and come back and just be kind to people. Be considerate. Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. No jerks allowed. Yeah, when I read it, that question is on the questionnaire. It's your favorite quote, and typically they're quotes that I love. I love good quotes. I had never seen that one, and I was like, oh, that's fun. It's fun. I have to ask that. Josh, talk to me about like when I think about like when I take our girls to the vet. There's usually just other dogs there or cats, but I know you guys treat all types of animals. Yes.
We do. The vast majority are going to be dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats.
Yeah,
I don't know what you can say, but like, can you talk about like a particularly difficult or tough case that you had to solve?
mean, I think they all have their own unique challenges. I'm an oncologist, and so I'm only dealing with patients that have a diagnosis of cancer or presumed diagnosis of cancer.
Yeah.
It's the art of practicing medicine. So there's the science behind it, and there's so much that's evolving right now in the veterinary and human space, especially like with immunotherapy and new developments that are on the horizon. So being able to apply that to each individual one, but it's when you have the pet, in a lot of aspects, that's kind of the easy part, because again, you can apply that logic to it. But then the whole process in that environment with the family and the dynamics, that's really the challenging part. But that's also really fun. And that, in fact, for me, one of the things that was in our profession, the pandemic back in 2020, it really shifted our profession. But one of the things that we lost was that in-person communication, and that was tough for me. I didn't do as well in that environment because I missed being able to just have the time in the exam room. Like the surgeons, their sanctuary is the operating room. My sanctuary is the exam room, and being able to talk to my clients and just walk them through the steps and whatnot. So for the challenging cases, there's so many different facets in how you could really answer that, or how I could answer that. There's the ones where I think the most challenging are the ones where we do everything and we expect a really great outcome.
Yeah.
And despite our best efforts, things don't go as planned.
Yeah.
And the cancer doesn't respond the way we intend it to, and the treatments don't provide the same benefit that we were anticipating. Those are the tough ones, because we have a dedicated owner, we have a pet that's just, willing to give it their best fight, and it doesn't go well. We leverage our resources, there's not many, there's only a few hundred, boarded veterinary oncologists in the world. And we have a network where we all can ask each other questions. I sit across from Dr. Meeks, who's one of our internal medicine specialists. So much of what I deal with has an internal medicine component because it's an internal disease. And so we talk and we share, our anecdotes on cases all day long. And so just being able to leverage your resources and knowing, and sometimes it's, you might not think of something even though you know it, but being able to reach out and talk to other people really helps.
Yeah, I could see that, especially somebody that knows the world, right? And it has some experiences, but different experiences than you. I was just talking to our last guest about having mentors that are in your industry and in your lane and stuff like that. But I could see how somebody who it's adjacent, right? They're in your industry, but like they have a different specialty and experience and knowledge. I could see where that could really have huge benefits, just bouncing ideas off of them and getting their feedback.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's unique in our hospital, in our industry, is that unlike human medicine, right? So, you go to your general practitioner, and if you need some follow-up or you need to see a specialist, you're going to have to go to another site, right? With us, we're one-stop shop. So if you have a situation in the middle of the night, I would say a significant portion of patients that come in overnight probably do need to be seen by a specialist. So what differentiates us over some of the ER businesses, ER-only businesses, is nothing's going to stay in ER for more than 12, 18 hours. So it's going to be triage stabilized by an ER doctor. And then in the morning, that's when Dr. Meeks, Dr. Lachowicz, our surgeons, everybody is there in one building, one facility. So actually, I wish human healthcare was more like what we are, because you have an issue in the middle of the night, right? They're going to help you. They're going to make you feel better. And in the morning, you're going to get transferred to the expert, or not. Like the ER is an expert in their area, but then you're going to get transferred to
whatever you need.
And if you need to stay in critical care, you're going to be transferred to the critical care department. If you have any cancer issues, oncology, right? So that's what makes us really special. And then it really allows for excellent medicine because we're all under the same roof. They can, you guys consult a lot with each other, and sometimes are working with the same case at the same time. So it's really efficient.
Really get that total care, even with what you were saying. Like if I do have a diagnosis, if that doctor isn't in that facility, then they're going to send me home, and I got to call him and schedule to see him next week or her next week. But that's not the case. Get it all right there.
Yeah, we
under
try
one
to
roof.
make it easy to navigate for
When
sure.
are you guys gonna come to Sarasota? What's going on? We got rapid growth. Get you down
It's
here.
on the list.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we started this new tradition where guests are asked to ask the next guest a question. So there was a woman here earlier. You actually happened to see her. She had a question for you, and it was, if you were to have a event, a party at your office with this culture you're building, what would be the theme?
Superheroes?
The superhero?
I don't know. What do you think?
Gosh, that's an interesting question. What would be the theme of our party? I might have to think about that one.
Yeah. Superheroes is pretty good.
Superheroes
You have
is
a
good,
favorite?
And little doodles wearing capes.
You know, I was thinking of staff, but you're totally right. That would be so fun.
Little doodles running around a hospital wearing capes.
Oh my gosh, that's social media gold. That's social media gold.
He would probably have kitties. He
I
likes
like
cats.
Yeah.
I like dogs too. I'm equal opportunity.
That's it.
Yeah. Cats are just
so
so interesting because they're so curious.
They
That
are.
could be the theme of the party. What's the animal thinking? What's the pet
Yeah.
thinking?
Oh yeah. That's cool.
Because you could make all sorts of little memes with that.
You could.
They look at you. They have
Social.
their own emotions. Like they're not as expressive as we are. Yet they have their own way to express
I
themselves.
think I just found your next social media campaign. That's what it is right here. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, reading minds.
Reading whose mind?
I guess, yeah, that's a good question. That's a good follow-up question. No.
Mine would, yeah. I'd love to read my dog's minds.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great because we have two rescues, and one of them has learned when she wants something, she just kind of puts her hand, she puts her paws on you, and she'll just kind of look at you. And sometimes we'll always say, "What do you want?" What? Okay, tell me what you want. Sometimes she'll look, over at the food or water, or like maybe there's a toy over here that she wants. Sometimes, but sometimes she just keeps looking at you like this right here, and we don't know what she wants. And so to be like, just tell me. Just tell me what it is. I'll give you anything.
See, bring her to the party, and then you have that mind reader right there.
That would be so much fun.
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. So, last question. There will be another entrepreneur in your seats in our next episode. So if you could ask, I can't tell you who or what they do, but if you could ask an entrepreneur any question, what would it be? I guess we'll get two questions, won't we?
Yeah, do you want to go first?
I'm thinking. I'm curating my response.
So it would be an entrepreneur.
Yep.
How long did it take them to decide to do it?
Do it. Got it? That's a good one. How long did it take them to decide to do it? Love it. Josh?
Mine would be, and it's not meant to sound challenging, but it is more thought-provoking, and that would be, what makes you think that you can do it?
Ooh, I love that. What makes you think you could do it?
Yeah.
I like that. I might steal that one for future episodes just myself. I've asked what gave you the audacity to bet on yourself, but I like the way that, what makes you think you could do it? That's cool. Very good questions. Friends, thank you so much for
Thank
coming and
you.
joining us on the show. This was a great time. I appreciate
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.